guys, it seems like it's time for an update. I wanted to kind of go over kind of some different things that have been going on with the TiTAN and kind of talk about some of the features, and then we're going to assemble it and you get to see how smooth this thing is. It's pretty ridiculous. Alright, so kind of like before, we're using 187 Ti. This time around though, we've gone ahead and gone for the HRD detent. So this detent is the one that Hoback uses, and he's licensing under his HRD name. And it's this rolling detent, and I gotta say, it makes all the difference. It's a little tricky to get this tiny little tap in there, but once I kind of figured out just the right drill size for it, it hasn't been too much of a trouble for me. Also this time around, the relief cut is a bit thinner, and also using a radiused end mill. So we get these nice little radius cuts right here, as well as a bit more relief area. I think it'll be less stressful over time than Gen 1, and seems to be working out pretty well. Alright, so let's see, the pivots are the same as last time, and these pivots, they're amazing, 64 threads per inch, so got a lot of adjustability. And then the GTC bearings, all stainless this time around. And I have to say, they're a lot smoother than the needle roller bearings that were in Gen 1. They're just fantastic. The standoffs, last time we used the tri-barrels from, I think, AKS. But this time they're Waterjet S35VN, so they're a bit tricky to tap, but we're getting more surface area, so I think it's going to be an overall stronger construction. This one is one of the Warncliffe Damascus editions, and you can see right here we've got the swedge, but the main bevel hasn't been ground yet. I'm thinking I'm going to be doing the main bevels post heat treat, just because it's going to be a little bit easier, just to make sure everything lines up, along with these contact points. So I've moved away from doing the thumb stud slash stop pin idea to a full hardened stop pin construction. Some of the stuff here is has been ground down undersized just so it'll work for this mock-up, but every single one of these gets hand fit, so all the hardware is hand fit to every knife. Alright, let's see. One thing I have noticed is all that slop and all that sponge that was in the first generation, that's completely gone. When you close it, this thing snaps closed, and when it opens, well, the first one never had any open lockup problems, but when you were closing it, there was a spongy feel, mainly because your stop pin was riding on the lock bar. But now that it's nestled securely directly into the tie frame, there's none of that. Also, all the screws, I've gone up from a 440 to a 632. I think it's a stronger setup. A lot of guys don't do 632, but these knives are so damn massive, so why not go with something a bit beefier? Also, we're doing all stainless. Had a few issues with the oxide, black oxide coating. For some guys who are carrying these in the deep south, they can get a little bit rust prone, but now these all stainless versions are just, they're perfect. No corrosion problems. There we go. So, I mean, it's silky smooth, as you can see, and it slams closed. Now these points will match up fully closed. What I haven't done is before heat treat, I do not want to grind these all the way down to the exact fit for the detent and for the lockup. You notice they don't quite match up here, just because dimensions tend to shift around after heat treat, and I want to make sure that they're just going to be perfect. But as you can see, I mean, no resistance required. They're stupid smooth. And you can see right here that that detent, when it comes in, it actually, the lock bar does move, but you can't feel it. I mean, a lot of folders, you'll get that jump when the detent comes onto the blade. Like for instance, this cold steel. You can feel that jump when the lock bar detent comes into contact with the blade. With this HRD system, it's just so smooth that it just glides over and you don't feel it at all. That means opening and closing is going to be way smoother than before, and I think it's really going to make for an overall better product. In terms of time frame, all these profiles have all been smoothed out and ground for the tie. The blades, I still have to do the S35VN profiles, but the swedges are ground. I'm looking at sending out a heat treat in the next week or two. So expect more updates and expect more of this to come down the pipeline. I'm thinking a month or two and we'll have these start to head out the front door. Alright guys, as always, if you have any questions at all, you let me know. I'll make sure to answer all your questions. And it's been a fun experience. I gotta say, these TiTANs for me have always been more of a labor of love than anything else. And I gotta say, Generation 2.0 is just as badass, if not more, than Gen 1. So I can't wait for you guys to get these in hand, and you guys have a good night.